Richard, just let me know once you're ready and we can get started. I can see that.
I am ready anytime you are.
Awesome. Then let's get started with our today's keynote speech. So good morning, everyone, and thank you for jumping in on our keynote speech. I'm going to give a short introduction to our international speaker today that we have here with us. So Richard joined Toastmasters in 2006 at the recommendation of motivational speaker Les Brown. When he joined Toastmasters, it was strictly to improve his communication skills. He had no view on leadership at that point in time. But within a year, he was serving in district leadership. Happens to most of us, doesn't it? He has since gone on to become the 2020-2021 International President of Toastmasters International. So the more I thought, how would I introduce Richard here today in our District 73 conference, the more I realized I would probably require a whole day or whole hour to do so. His laurels cannot be sung in one song, and I will fall short of words if I may dare. Richard's contribution to the community of Toastmasters has been immense and did lead him to become the immediate past international president of Toastmasters International in year 2020-2021. The time when we hit pandemic out of nowhere. So he has shown his strong leadership and held the fort for Toastmasters in one of the most trying times that will be spoken about for decades to come and will go down in history. It needs vigor, stealth, and a compassionate human to lead in trying times like this. And Richard has done exactly that for all of us within our Toastmasters community. I think I have said enough about this fabulous human and our very own Toastmasters International leader. Please welcome and put your hands together for our today's keynote speaker, immediate past international president, DTM Richard Peck.
Can I ask the Zoom master to open up the screen share capability? It was taken away at the last minute.
Oh, will do. Can I have another try?
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, Namrita, for that warm welcome. And welcome to all of you at District 73. It's my pleasure to be here with you in this unique environment that we're in. Still living in these small boxes on our screens. But I do know that we're getting closer and closer to being together. I'd like to talk to you a little bit about perspective today and how we view things as individuals can either limit or unlock our potential, our possibilities. Let's just go with it. Let's ride that wave that District 73 has got going to the possibilities and see where we can go from here. So it's all about perspective. And the interesting thing about perspective is we all see things just a little bit differently. Some of us see things as a challenge. Some of us see things as an opportunity. And it might be that we're facing the same thing. During the table topics session this morning, I heard a speaker mention about a health issue that for some of us, we would say was a challenge. But for her, she looked for all the opportunities for change that it afforded her. So perspective comes from the Latin word perspicere, which means looking through or to perceive. So how do we perceive things? When we listen to speakers, when we listen to stories, how do we perceive them? when we face situations, how do we see it? I'd like to give you an example. And the chat window is open, so I'd like you to respond to this image. And this is just to show you how different perspective can be. Is the horse and rider walking towards you, away from you, both? So Namrita thinks it's walking towards her. Away, towards, right? We can see that just in this one image, everybody sees it just a little bit differently. We actually have someone seeing it do both. Maybe the person is walking away and the horse is walking towards. We don't know. And that's what is important to understand about perception, is that not every one of us sees things the same way. And it's how we deal with it that allows us to unlock those potentials. Let me share a story with you, if I might, about my journey into leadership in one particular year. In 2009, I had only been in Toastmasters for about 3 years. I was running for the now club growth director role, had a little bit of a different title back then, unopposed. And just before convention, just before conference, I was diagnosed with stage 4 throat cancer. Truly a challenge. And I looked at that challenge from a couple of perspectives. One, how was I going to fulfill my role, my obligation, while dealing? Two, me. And I flipped the page and looked at the other side of it and said, what opportunities is this going to afford me? Well, one opportunity was I actually learned how to develop a team at that point in time. I was used to doing everything on my own. Many of us as leaders are used to doing everything on our own. But I learned what it meant to develop a team. I learned what it meant to have to rely on others. A challenge that opened up a world of opportunities that I still use today. What challenges have you faced that when you've turned this page have unlocked unlimited possibilities? In 2020, March 11th, the world came across a global pandemic. That's the day that the CDC had announced it. It was great for me. It was my birthday. So I get to be associated with one of the darkest times in history for having that. And I was coming into the office of international president at the time. Nobody could prepare for that. No leader could prepare for that. No individual could prepare for that. It was going to be a challenge. There was no doubt about that. But again, I turned the page. I said, what opportunities are going to come out of this? What opportunities can I exploit? And for some of you, you will remember the International President World Tour that was implemented last year, where I got to visit 143 countries in the course of a year. Unheard of. Unheard of. But it was because I took the opportunity to not let the challenge, not let the issue at hand control me. When you face something, when we all face something, and each and every one of us does at some point in time, whether it's our personal life, our corporate life, or the Toastmasters life, we have two choices. We can let it control us, or we can find ways to control it. Now, that's easier said than done. I know that. And I know that each of us will look at things differently. As Namrita was preparing for this conference, and the emails were going back and forth, the challenges of how to connect everybody, the challenges of how to make this experience the best experience it could be. And she found new ways to do it. She brought in teams to help her. And as far as I could tell, this experience has been near seamless. Other than the time zone I'm in being a little bit of a challenge right now, but the experience has been seamless. As club leaders this year, many of you face that challenge of how do I recruit new members? How do I keep a meeting that feels like a meeting? Anyone felt like the meetings were just a little bit two-dimensional? How do you do that? Well, the world is now at your fingertips. Here's an opportunity for you. There are speakers around the world that would love the opportunity to speak at a new club and get an evaluation. It's easy to get world champions now. They don't have to travel. Look for the opportunity. Don't focus on the challenge. As district leaders, some of you are thinking about how do we grow our district this year? What does that look like? And there will be challenges. But now with the hybrid meetings, so many more people can be reached. Now the challenge is, how do we connect everybody in that type of meeting? Reach out to others who have done that. Reach out to others and learn from their experiences. The pandemic is starting to subside and we're starting to get back together. But it's been a cautionary tale for all of us to realize that things can appear out of nowhere. And we need to react quickly. Think about it. When Toastmasters was in its prime several years ago, we all met in person. The idea of meeting online, meeting in hybrid, was foreign to us. It was only a few years ago that we actually started using technology to allow things to move forward. And now we had to pivot like that. We had to look for an opportunity. We had to change our perspective on what things meant, what things look like, what the world looked like. See, the thing about opportunity is it doesn't knock on the door, doesn't ring the doorbell. It plays hide and seek. It's up to you to seek out those opportunities. Each and every one of us has the ability to change our view. to change the way we see things. Sometimes that will mean stepping away from the crowd, away from the noise. If you're in a room full of people who see it all the same way, you can never change your perspective. You need to step back, take a look, think about it. Your perspective and my perspective are likely going to be different on a number of things. But that doesn't mean either one of us are right or wrong. It's just how we view it. What does success look like to you? I would guarantee that with all the participants that we have in the room today, everyone has a different perspective on what success is. Is yours right? Is mine? Take the opportunity to step back, see things a little bit farther. Anyone a photographer in the room? Come on, we all have cameras in our phones. We're all photographers at some point in time. If you hold the camera real close to something, I saw Namrita go like that, maybe. If you hold the camera close like this to something, you see a very small picture. If you step back, you see much more. Your perspective changes. If you were a club leader at one point in time, your perspective was once what a leader was. As a district leader, your perspective is different. It's where you are, it's who you are, it's what you're willing to see. As the world continues to change, and it will, opportunities are going to be plentiful. It's up to you to reach for it, grab it, pull it in, and hold on to it. If you can't go right, go left. If you can't go left, go right. Barriers are meant to block you from accomplishing something. But that's only if your perspective is that it's a barrier. You can achieve anything you want to if you let yourself do it. I've seen it, I've witnessed it, I've watched it. I've seen individuals who challenge themselves every day, who find opportunities to be unique, to be themselves. All of you came to Toastmasters to find an opportunity to increase your communication skills, maybe leadership skills. There was a challenge there. You've overcome it, or are still working to overcome it. How many of you have heard, why are you in Toastmasters? What does it do? That's their perspective, not yours. District 73 is going to have a great year ahead of it. That's my perspective. With the help of everybody that's here, all the members, the great members. Take the opportunity. View the year differently. Set your path, set your goals. Be unique. There's a world of possibilities out there. Riding the wave to them is just a little bit more exciting. We heard the story of roller coasters earlier today for those who were on the table topics conversation. It's the thrill of that unknown for some of us. For others, that's fearful. But it's only when you face it that you know how far you're willing to go. There's a saying that goes, if you're not in over your head, how tall will you know you actually are? That's a perception. Unlock your potential, unlock your possibilities, ride the wave to success, whatever success means to you. Change your perspective. Don't expect a knock on the door or the doorbell to be rung. You go out and find it. You go out and be that individual that changes the world. Madam Namrita, back to you.
Thank you so much, Richard. Is that only me or I'm hearing an echo? Oh, the echo's gone. Thank you so much, Richard, for that amazing, amazing keynote speech. I think we have got a very good start and a fabulous start to our district already with that encouragement, with that motivation. And I love how you weaved that theme into your keynote speech, ride our wave. And I think so you have given the exact meaning that we all were going for that theme. That's exactly what we mean, ride our wave, get through that wave, seize the day, seize the opportunity, and enjoy your journey in Toastmasters. So thank you so much, Richard, for that. And I think our keynote speaker requires yet another big round of applause from all of us. It's late at night in Park, and Richard really admire dedication. Thank you so much, everyone. And this is the end of our keynote speech. We are going to have a break now, and we do have a lobby, the Zoom lobby that is open for anyone to jump on. It's a break lobby, so go over there, probably share your lunch, and get ready for the upcoming contest. And we will see you exactly at 12:30 p.m. AEST for the international contest. Thank you.